Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing slow cooking recipes. These can be done in a slow cooker. I don't actually have a slow cooker, so we're just doing them in the oven. So you can cook them in your oven if you don't have a slow cooker. They are all easy as usual. It's just a case of chucking everything into a pan or into your slow cooker and cooking it in the oven or the slow cooker and leaving it do its thing. So you don't have to worry about standing over the hob or having lots of different pans on the go. It's very, very simple and very, very tasty as well, as always. And all the recipes are linked down below, so they're all on my website, so you can follow along with them. And also make sure to follow me on Instagram and tag me if you recreate any, and also TikTok, because we're making some TikTok videos for extra recipe content. And let's get cooking. Our first recipe is a Greek-inspired jackfruit stew. This is loosely inspired by a cleftico, which we usually would have lamb. We're going for jackfruit, which means it doesn't need to be cooked for as long. All of these slow cooker recipes don't need to be cooked as long as a traditional slow cooking recipe, because usually slow cooking is used for things like meat. So we're going to put the jackfruit in kind of a little bit later because we don't want it to get overcooked. But this kind of replicates that shredded meat texture. And we've got loads of other yummy ingredients. It's very simple. All these recipes, you just throw it all in a pan, put it in your oven, or if you do have a slow cooker, put it all in your slow cooker and leave it to cook. And that's the beauty. It's just chopping and then it's dealt with. So these are ideal if you don't have time to be stood over your hob for a while. So let's get started. Cut up 2 onions into wedges. 400 to 500 grams of potatoes chopped into chunks. 3 carrots chopped into chunks. Six large tomatoes chopped into wedges. 1 red pepper. Now everything's in your dish, add 2 sprigs of rosemary, a teaspoon of oregano and a teaspoon of thyme, a whole lemon, 2 bay leaves. I've got 750 ml of vegetable stock, and also I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of tomato puree, so it spreads evenly throughout everything. I'm just going to add it into the vegetable stock and stir it all in. Make sure that all your potatoes are covered as much as they can be. I forgot to add this before, but I've cut a bowl of garlic in half, kind of like the lemon, and you need to add that in as well. So all the flavour will infuse. And now we're going to put this in the oven for around 2 hours or into your slow cooker at 160 degrees Celsius. I forgot to say that. So I've got my jackfruit. This is from the brand Essential. I bought this in a farm shop. I'm pretty sure you can get it in Sainsbury's. I think it's something that's more common now that you can get it at places. So we're gonna add 2 tins of this. I'm gonna try and pop it all in the center. I have drained the water. It's about half an hour from when this is all done, so it's been about an hour and a half. And this should all break apart and go all lovely and juicy and stringy. Our next slow cooker recipe, or slow cooking recipe, because I'm not actually using a slow cooker, is a chickpea stew. This is so simple, it's actually ridiculous, and you can mix it up. So today I'm going to use coconut milk, but you can do this exact same recipe, swapping the coconut milk for chopped tomatoes, give it a different flavour, different style of dish, but the same recipe. And at the end, we're going to add in kale. Again, you can use the sort of collard green, dark leafy green vegetable that is in season. Oh my gosh, look, there's a caterpillar on the chopping board. Well, Mr. Caterpillar came along with the kale apparently. I got this from the farm shop yesterday. Right, we're going to put him outside, 1 second. So where was I? Yeah, whatever dark green leafy vegetable that you like or that's in season, you can add this at the end just for the extra nutrients. And it's just some spices and some onion and garlic and ginger. Really easy. So you just put it in the pan and shove it in the oven. Sorted. I'm gonna soak these though, so that we make sure that there's no other little bugs hanging in here. One onion, 4 cloves of garlic, and around a thumb of ginger. If you haven't seen my TikTok yet, and if you aren't following me on TikTok, go follow me. But use frozen ginger. The second you get the ginger from the supermarket or from the shop, put it in your freezer, because then you can use a microplane. Okay, take 2. You can use a microplane and it grates that easily. You would not be able to grate this with a unfrozen ginger. And also it saves food waste, because how many of you have found a mouldy chunk of ginger at the back of the fridge that you've forgotten about? This means you always have ginger available, and how fast is that? Amazing. 2 tins of drained chickpeas, a teaspoon each of turmeric, chili flakes, cumin, paprika and cinnamon, a tin of coconut milk, or like I mentioned, you could use chopped tomatoes, and 500 ml of veg stock. And then we're going to mix all of this in together. Pop on a lid, and then we're going to bake in the oven, or roast in the oven, for around 2 hours. It's 15 minutes from when our chickpea curry will be finished. So we're going to add in our kale and stir it all through. Whoa. Yum, utterly delicious. This would be great to be served with naan bread or flatbread or rice. Just delish. This recipe is an asparagus and corn chowder. So rather than cooking this on the hob like you would any other soup, it makes it simpler because you put it all in a pan, in a big dish, in a heavy base dish. All of these need like really heavy base dishes to put in the oven. And then you let it do its thing. And if you're using a slow cooker, it's the same. And then you've got a really delicious soup at the end of it. You could blend it if you want to. Alex hates chunky soup. I love chunky soup, and I feel like it wouldn't be a corn chowder if it wasn't chunky, but you can blend it and have it with some bread and yummy. Chop up 2 leeks. A bunch of asparagus, and just snap off the hard bit on the end. I'm just going to add these ends into a bag. I'm going to put them in the freezer, and then we can use them another day to make stock. $300 grams of new potatoes, chopped up. And then a tin of sweet corn, the zest of a lemon, 1200 millilitres of stock, a teaspoon of cumin and a teaspoon of coriander, and some salt and pepper. And then mix it all together. And then we're going to put this in the oven at 135 degrees Celsius for 2.5-ish hours. Depends. Basically, have a look at it at 2 hours if it looks good, or put it in there for longer. It kind of varies on your oven or how cooked you want it. So I'm going to go for about 2.5 hours. we're going to chop up 1 large onion or 2 smaller onions. A red pepper. Two or 3 carrots chopped up. $700 grams of new potatoes. I'm just going to chop these into bite-sized chunks. A thumb of ginger. Two cloves of garlic, minced. I've got 450 ml of vegetable stock, and then I'm just gonna put the Thai green curry paste. Put however much you like, because Thai green curry paste does vary when it comes to spice. Some are spicier, some are less spicy. So go off of the instructions on the back of the jar. This one's very spicy, so I'm gonna take it easy and mix it in with here, so then when it goes into the pan, it's fully spread out between everything. A tin of coconut milk. A stick of lemongrass, just plop it on in there. We've got the oven preheated to 135 degrees Celsius, and then all the lemongrass has snuck out. We're going to put this in the oven for 3 hours, and then we'll take it out and add a couple more ingredients before the end. We've just taken this out of the oven because it's about 15 minutes to half an hour before it's finished, and I'm going to add in a handful of green beans and then a small handful of fresh coriander, and then stir it all in. And then back in the oven for about 15 minutes to half an hour until everything's cooked. Potatoes are so good. That's so yummy, and we were talking when we were making it about the fact that if you have someone, maybe a family member or someone you live with, who is rubbish at cooking, or maybe you're rubbish at cooking, this is a really good one. All of them are, because it's just an ingredient list, and you can literally be like, that's the ingredient list, put that all in a pan and then put it in the oven and set a timer, and that's all you have to do. Maybe you're someone who's really busy, or someone you live with someone who doesn't do much of the cooking and you'd like to share it. Recipes like this could be a good way of introducing them to cooking and keep it really simple. So this is a total like novice, you don't even have to know how to cook to make this, and it would be perfect with some extra coriander, some squeeze of lemon, and also some rice on the side. Yum. Why was I doing that? Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed all those recipes. As I mentioned, they're all linked in the description on my website, so you can go and follow them there. And also make sure to go follow me on Instagram and TikTok, because I've got lots more recipe content over there every single week if you're missing them on YouTube. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. It rolls on her back doing that noise, and the cats look at her like, what are you doing? And they're like, just feed me. Alex, less of the dog. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed all those recipes. What am I doing with my hands? Okay.